Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with this season's PC car, the Rocket Bunny MX-5 Miata. So this is a new T2 car, and one of the questions I get asked a lot on my channel is, what's a good T2 car for Tempest 3 Tier 2? Okay, we all know about the Boxster. We know the Boxster can do it, but the Boxster requires quite a few stage 6s to pull it off, although it's not hard. The others that are out there commonly known would be cars like the Rocket Bunny GTI, and which is newer and quite good at this. And also, I put up a video for an easy one, relatively speaking, with the Legend Ferrari. Now, what the Rocket Bunny Mazda Miata can do for you is that it can do this entire event, Tempest 3 Tier 2, without having to dip into any stage 6s. That is very important because although the fusions for this car is not easy to get, any car that doesn't require stage 6 to accomplish Tempest 3 Tier 2 is a great car to look into. So I'm going to give you the lowdown and the breakdown of the settings and tunes I would normally look at. Now, understand these are not the only settings or only tune. Because of the flexibility of the car, because it performs so well, other combinations very well could work. This is just something I'm going to show you for the purpose of demonstrating the ability to meet each bracket's requirements, including the 0 to 60, 0 to 100, speed trap, as well as the time. Okay, so let's first look at 399 bracket, which is the earliest that you start with. For the purpose of this bracket, and for the purpose of this car, you'll notice I don't use nitrous a whole lot. I'm going to leave nitrous off for both this bracket and later on brackets, instead do upgrades in other parts, because nitrous isn't that critical to this car, even for the purpose of speed trap, whereas engine, turbo, and other parts are actually more useful for the purpose of speed trap. Body I dropped only because it tend to drop quite a lot of PP points without dropping a whole lot of levels. So I use body off as a way to get to the limit quicker without having to drop levels on all my other parts. So 388 stock nitrous, stock body, stage 4 intake, stage 5, stage 3 tire, stage 4 trans. Your target numbers at this point, especially for sprints and 0 to 100 and 0 to 60, is actually pretty slow. So what you're really looking for is this, the time and the mile per hour. Now this car has incredible mile per hour at 398 pp point. It is already doing 136. Understand that the highest speed trap you have to hit at all in Tempest 3 Tier 2 is 140. So you're like 4 miles per hour off, and you're not even anywhere close to the highest limit requirements. In addition, it is beating the 0 to 60 requirements by a full second, 0 to 100 requirements by almost 2 seconds, and the time that required to run against the highest and the fastest opponent in the first 10 races by almost 2 seconds. So this car, without a doubt, will breeze through Tempest 3 Tier 2, but let's do a test run to confirm those numbers are not flukes. Also note that for simplicity, we're keeping the same tune for the entire event. So understand that at this level, you're actually going to be able to beat all challenges up to the 423 bracket. That's actually almost, well, not all challenges. The 0 to 60 has to improve, but pretty much all challenges for next two brackets can almost be beat with just this one particular setup. So this car is incredibly good for Tempest purposes and very easy to set up and tune. You can throw in nitrous again, you can play around with the numbers, but I can tell you, you almost can't go wrong as far as beating the Tempest challenges. At 3.243, actually, that does confirm you will beat everything, the 0 to 60, 0 to 100, mile per hour, and everything else, all the way up to 434 bracket. At that point, you have a much more difficult 0 to 60 challenge, and you have to hit 125 miles per hour. But understand, you'll still be the 0 to 100 all the way through. So literally, you can run the first 30 races in Tempest 3 Tier 2 without even changing the setup. But let's go ahead and change the setups anyway. to kind of see what the performance improvements are. Now, obviously, I want the 0 to 60 to go lower. Um, with 0 to 60, you would think nitrous would be helpful, but as I've just shown you, it's really not needed. So if you're going to upgrade points to get faster, one of the things you would probably want to throw in would be intake, because it does pump up quite a bit of Evo points like that. And then you can start adding some tire grip to keep that 0 to 60 going down. So a little more tire grip doesn't hurt. Now the next bracket is 414, so we still have some leeway here. You can actually throw in all the way to stage 5 tire at this point. The trans isn't as critical, and those we'll leave alone. So this is your 414 bracket, where the fastest times that you have to hit would be a 4.20 to 60, 8.70 to 100, 115 miles per hour, and a 11.9 for the toughest opponent. Let's look at our dyno. Crushed it, crushed it, crushed it, crushed it, right? In fact, this is faster than the fastest mile per hour you're ever going to need, which is 140. So at this point, your only short is on 0 to 60 performance. Therefore, the next bracket, we're going to go right to it, is 423. That drops the 0 to 60 to a 3.7. Big deal. I'm already looking at under 3 for 0 to 60. 120 mile per hour, 11.6. Don't even need any more upgrades. I could just run the 20 races, but I will go ahead and upgrade and look for improvements in the 0 to 60. So 423 is where you can start throwing in some body. But here's the thing about body is that you'll gain quite a few points per level of upgrade. You notice it jumped quite a few points, and you're not going to get this one without going past the limit. So really, you're going to be only looking at dropping body or increasing body to stage 2. But it's still an improvement. Let's go back and now look at the time. At 423 performance point limit, you only need to hit a 3.70 to 60, 3.70 to 60, 7.60 to 100, 120 miles per hour, and a 11.6. Obviously, just looking at our dyno and comparing that to the requirement, you can tell that it's already well past that. Now, the biggest challenge comes without stage 6 here at the next bracket, and that is the 434 bracket. That is going to require a 2.654 0 to 60. A lot of tier 2 cars get stuck on this one. It's either going to be the mile per hour they get stuck on, or it's this particular 434 limit, 2.654 0 to 60, that really stumbles a lot of the cars. Now, with this car, again, ignore nitrous and focus on upgrading body to just get under the limit. And you can actually get almost under the limit by stage 5 body, but you can't, right? It pushes it past it. What you can do, though, is you could drop something else one stage to kind of push it back to the limit. And this is one way to do it. You can use intake, which is fine, okay? Or you can try to drop one of the other stages from one of the other items like transmission, which will also get you under. So either one of these will work. Now, once you get that, all you have to do is then go back to your 0 to 60 and look at the dyno. The thing about this car is that it's not going to run much under the dyno as far as the setting. 2.65, why I have left this tuned the whole time is 2.65 allows me to always get possibly the best 0 to 60. And if it doesn't fall under the numbers required, it's not going to work. So what I can tell right away is that trans being lowered doesn't make the 0 to 60 fast enough. You have a 2.66 versus a required 2.654. Sure, you may be able to shift that out of it anyway, but let's go ahead and set it up in a way that we can look at the number from dyno and get it under the requirements. And by dropping a stage of intake, that should get us there. So here, again, I'm not even using any stage 6. I am not even at full stage 5, okay? And I am able to hit that 2.654. But it is still kind of close. It's, again, this is not a really, so again, no nitrous, you can't tune that. You could try to push this a little bit, and you can maybe eke out a little bit more points on it. But I can tell you that once you get to the point where you couldn't hit 60 in second gear, it's going to hurt your 0 to 60 time. Now, this one we're going to run because obviously this is a challenge I need to hit. So I'm going to run it and see if we can get under 2.654. The 0 to 100 is a 7.5. It's a joke. And then 125 mile per hour. Speed trap is a joke. 11.6 opponent time. You're already running 10s. None of that's even going to, you're going to breeze through this challenge as long as you can get this little speed trap done, and that's it. Now, again, I mean, I might have shifted out of first a little too quick there. You want the first to get a little traction going before you shift out. But even driving the way I did, that was like a 10-second run, well over 140 mile per hour and well under the required time. And here, well under the required time even for the 0 to 60. You're getting about a tenth under. Congratulations. You have now gotten fast enough to take on the final boss at 433 performance point, but you do have to understand the final boss does run 10.14 or better, or slightly slower or faster around that range. So you don't want to go take the boss on barely running 10s, right? Now, all you have to do at that point is to just keep throwing in upgrades. Stage 5 only, this car is quite quick. So if you look at, let's forget stage 6 for now. At this point, you can throw in nitrous. Okay, you can put nitrous in, you can set the car up, and you can do stage 5 only, and you can look at the time. The car's going to be much, much quicker than it needs to be for the purpose of this challenge. Let's play with the tune a little bit this time. Again, it is a very fast car for the upgrades. 9.4, 2.746. Notice the 0 to 60 suffers a little bit when you make it more aggressive. You actually want second always to end at 60 for the best. Okay, now, so time-wise, this will destroy the boss and win you the car. Congratulations, you just beat Tempest 3 Tier 2 with a car that has no Stage 6. This is a great new option for Tier 2. If you got the silver keys, pull this car. The only thing that's going to be a bit of a struggle for new players, but good and bad. The bad is the fusion's very hard to come by. You have to spend some bronze keys if you're short on fusions. Make sure you get this car to full fusion, or alternatively, by the time you get to PC Cup, you may have a few stage 6s, and you can leverage those potentially to meet the target requirement. But again, fusions are very important for performance. The good news is that this is a T2 car. You're not going to need that many fusions to max it out. Okay? Now, any questions about this, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I gave you kind of the quick breakdown of the brackets I think you need. I kind of skipped 447 altogether. We just kind of looked at it as stage 5 only, which only gets you to like 450 something. So you're not going to have a problem overall with this car for Tempest 3 Tier 2. Build it, get it fusioned out, and go wreck Tempest 3 Tier 2. Have fun. Again, any questions, ask me in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my videos and can benefit from them, and this is why I put them up, subscribe to the channel so you get notification when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.